are in SLBC. I am Alice Thompson. In this edition, Vice President launches the three mineral sector policies. A seminar for newspaper editors and station managers in the Western area ends at large headquarters. And Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education refutes allegation that the WASC English language paper was leaked before the exams. Well, there's stories and more lined up in this edition of News Hour. Don't go away. Welcome back, and our first story tonight, Vice President Dr. Mohamed JULDEH has said the country is yet to benefit from its mineral endowments. He was speaking at Bintimani Hotel at the launch of 3 mineral sector policies by the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources. Thomas Neal reports.
Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is on this promising note that I want to formally launch Sierra Leone Minerals Policy, that is another mining policy of Sierra Leone, and the geodata mining policy. I formally want to show it to you. I now launch this policy, and I hope today, the month of Ramadan, that God will help us to implement these policies, and that God will help us that we get the best out of these policies. Sallallahu Muhammad. Thank you very much.
The 3 mineral sector policies are the Sierra Leone Minerals Policy, the Geodata Management Policy of Sierra Leone, and the Artisanal Mining Policy. The Sierra Leone Minerals Policy was prepared as part of a series of legal, regulatory, and infrastructural reforms introduced by the government to ensure that Sierra Leone maximizes gains from its mineral resource endowments. For the Geodata Management Policy, it outlines how government intends to manage geological information to help actors. It comes at a time when government, with support from the World Bank, is undertaking a country-wide airborne geophysical survey. Prudent management of geological data is critical to government long-term minerals development strategy, and this policy provides the framework within which government will manage geological information, while the artisanal mining policy provides broad guidelines on how government can better regulate the subsector and maximize benefit for all stakeholders. Vice President Dr. Mohamed JULDEH said these mineral sector policies will guide government actions in ensuring that mineral sector drives local content. He said there is huge potential in the diverse extractive resource wealth to drive economic growth and sustainable development in the country, adding that the 3 mineral policies are in full compliance of the principles of the African mining vision.
Today, the driving force behind our commitment as a government is geared essentially towards ensuring that the country's mineral endowments are sufficiently harnessed in ways that will support social and economic development, and more importantly, produce real benefits to the country, to our investors, and also to mining communities.
The Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Maureen Manier, said the mineral sector directly and indirectly influences almost all other sectors in the country, and therefore very important that all stakeholders know and understand government's policy and its economic, environmental and social implications for Sierra Leone. He said government recognizes the important role the private sector plays in the development of the mineral sector of Sierra Leone. The Chairman Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Mines, Honorable Sir EMERSON LAMINA, said the new policy shows a clear line that the sector is now ready for change, adding that these 3 policies are the most comprehensive policies since 1930.
We are aware, Madam Chairperson, that there have been ad hoc structural responses to guide our mineral potentials as opposed to these 3 policies that we are about to launch today, which are most comprehensive since the birth of diamond, 1930, some 89 years ago. Can you imagine?
A brief presentation of the 3 sector policies by one of the consultants, Daniel Bondo, formed part of the program. For News Hour in Freetown, Thomas Neal reporting.
The Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation has received a donation of 10 computers from Dorothy Springer Trust Sierra Leone branch. Among the 10 computers received include 5 Dell laptops and 5 desktop computers to enhance the operations of the SLBC. Fodena BAIO filed in this report.
Springer Trust Sierra Leone, Dr. Abdoulaye Doumbouya, the move is a goodwill gesture to the SLBC, which has been adequately promoting and supporting issues of disability in the country. According to him, his organization is always willing and has the ability to support the national broadcaster, not only on the physical support of computers, but to also support staff with access, empowerment, and the use to technology. The Chief Executive Officer for Dorothy Springer Trust, Dr. Abdoulaye Doumbouya, further noted that they will continue to look into other areas of pressing needs of the SLBC. Receiving the goodwill gesture, the head of the human resources of the SLBC, Reverend Lucian Ganda, applauded Dorothy Springer Trust on behalf of the Director General and management of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. She added that the support will adequately serve the purpose of the SLBC, stating that the donated computers will create a huge benefit to their programs and called for a continued relationship with the SLBC and Dorothy Springer Trust.
Well, about an hour ago, an important press release from the Office of the President came to the SLBC. Let's join BAIO for details.
Press release from the Office of the President. The general public is hereby informed that it has pleased His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio to announce the following appointments, subject to the approval of Parliament where necessary. 1. Mrs. Nabila Tunis, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. 2. Dr. Francis Mustafa Kaikai, Minister of Planning and Economic Development. 3. Mr. Tamba Lamina, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. 4. Honorable Fode Rado Yoki, Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources. 5. Mr. Peter Bayoku Conte, Minister of Works and Public Assets. 6. Dr. Edward Hinga Sandi, Minister of Trade and Industry. 7. Mr. Solomon Jamiru, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. 8. Mr. UMARU Napoleon KOROMA, Deputy Minister of Justice. 9. Ms. Mamadi Gobe Kamara, Deputy Minister of Information and Communications. 10. Mrs. Melrose Kagbo, Deputy Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. 11. Mr. Philip Tetema Tondone, Deputy Minister of Works and Public Assets. 12. Mrs. Namatulai Bachang, Deputy Minister of Water Resources. Other appointments. 1. Dr. Ali Kaba, Permanent Representative, Sierra Leone Permanent Mission to the United Nations, New York. 2. Dr. Mori Manye, Sierra Leone High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. 3. Brigadier Retired Kelly Conte, National Security Advisor. 4. Mr. Raymond D'Souza George, Senior Presidential Advisor, and Ambassador at Large for Heritage and Cultural Affairs. Other appointments will be announced in due course. That's the end of the important press release from the Office of the President.
A seminar for newspaper editors and station managers in the Western area has been held at the SLAJ headquarters on Campbell Street. The forum was organized by the Independent Media Commission on the theme, Managing the Media Effectively and Professionally. Ibrahim Samora reports.
The day's seminar brought together newspaper editors, radio and television station managers on how to manage the press effectively and professionally. The participants discussed on management tips for effective administration of media houses, auto-regulation in the Media Code of Practice, and the IMC Media Awards. The Deputy Minister of Information and Communications, Solomon Jamiru, underscored the importance of the seminar, noting that the role of the media cannot be overemphasized. Mr. Jamiru noted that journalists are not only to dig deep on issues, but also to report in the right context, assuring them that President BAIO stands in solidarity with press freedom. He re-echoed government's commitment to decriminalize Part 5 of the Public Order Act that criminalizes libel. The Press Secretary, British High Commission, Justin Addison, said the media engagement on managing the press effectively and professionally was a right step. He noted that press freedom guarantees every right. He said the British government welcomed government's commitments to decriminalize criminal libel law. SLAJ President Kelvin Lewis noted that he was happy that the Independent Media Commission has started nationwide engagement of newspaper editors and station managers. Mr. Lee cited poverty as the biggest challenge responsible for the unprofessional practice by journalists in the country. The SLAJ president said the private sector is afraid to invest in the industry for fear of the criminal libel law. Chairman Independent Media Commission George Kuyema said the forum is among series of seminars to be rolled out across the country for newspaper editors and station managers. Commissioner Kuyema highlighted series of challenges facing the sector, citing the repeal of Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Acts.
Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has rendered as follows the English language papers 1 and 2 of the West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Examination 2019, making the rounds on social media. According to the document, the English language paper, due for the 9th of May, was seen on social media before the examination actually commenced. Soriba Samuel took up that story in our reports.
The National Office of the West African Examinations Council has said one of the threats to smooth running of examinations conducted in Sierra Leone is examination malpractice. The government of Sierra Leone paid a huge amount of money every year for the conduct of public examinations. In the early hours of Thursday, it was reported on social media that the English language papers 1 and 2 had leaked out to the public. How true that the paper that pupils were taking at various examination centers was on social media hours before the commencement of the examination. NANAH BOCKARIE is the acting Deputy Director of Education for the Western Area Urban District.
When we looked at the questions and what was on the social media was not the same. So it seems as if there had been a big disappointment in the area of malpractices with the kids, with the pupils. So what I want to say here is, you people don't rely as examiners and then pupils taking the exams, don't rely on social media.
The Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, she went on, made frantic efforts to search pupils on Thursday morning at the Model Secondary School before they entered into the exam center. At the Model Secondary School, a supervisor, BAIO Bangura, who read from the English language examination paper, found out that it was totally different from what was in circulation on social media.
One, your friend wants to travel abroad for university education. write a letter expressing your views about his intention and advising him on what to do. 2. A social club in your state is organizing an essay competition on the subject. Prevention is always better than cure.
The deputy director admonished pupils to study hard to get good grades and not rely on possible leakage from social media or elsewhere. Suriba Samura, Freetown.
Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Professor Iakpakima, has launched the Information and Communication Portal at a ceremony held at one of the campuses of Commerce, New Englandville. The web portal will address students' registration. Roskin Stevens reports.
The University of Sierra Leone has been working hard to make sure the web portal project becomes a reality. The process was launched in January this year to meet the trend of other universities in the world. Vice Chancellor, University of Sierra Leone, Professor Fodesa said trainings have been done for staff who would be operating or managing the portal. The establishment of the web portal will create a friendly working relationship between staff and students, noting that a lot of leakages will be eliminated in the process.
Well, the ICT portal actually is a system that we have launched to make sure that all our processes are being computerized. That is starting from student application, for admission, registration, timetabling, human resource. So everything we want to make sure that we follow the trend that is actually happening in other universities. We just encourage everybody to put hands on deck, but if we find that we want to sabotage the system, definitely appropriate actions will be taken, including disciplinary actions.
Launching the ICT portal, Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Professor Iakpakima said the establishment of ICT portals in the university is a novelty, but one that is actually long overdue. He noted that the initial stages to establish the portal were challenging, but he praised the university for rising up to the challenge.
The establishment of the Information and Communication Technology portals in our tertiary institutions, which is considered as a novelty, but one that is actually long overdue. We are not oblivious of what obtains in our sister universities in the sub-region. In Ghana, for example, applications for entry to the University of Ghana is done online, with little or no physical contact with any university officer from the moment of application until the completion of their admission.
The minister maintained that the university should depart from the traditional way of doing things and be innovative. Reporting for SLBC, Rose Konima Stevens.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, in partnership with the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, the Employers Federation, and the International Labour Organization, has organized a one-day national symposium on the Global Commission of the Future Work Report. The symposium was to build a national strategic report on how to implement the Future Work Report. Aruna Patrick Kamara was in attendance.
Organization in fulfillment of its core mandates for decent work and social justice, and in recognition of the absolute changes that are occurring in the world of work, commenced consultation in over 100 countries, including Sierra Leone, in 2016. In Sierra Leone, a similar forum was organized by the Ministry of Labour and partners in that same year with support from ILO. The chairman of the forum, a lecturer of Economics Department, Foabe College, Samuel Jamiru Bremer, said the commission was established by the International Labour Organization and started work in 2017 through the initiative of the Director General of ILO, Gay Rida. He said several factors are changing the world of work, which entails the call for decisive action. The President, Sierra Leone Labour of Congress, Janice White, said many ILO declarations have been made, but the future of work is much more concerned to workers all over the world. He said with the new technology in the world, workers will be relegated to the list of those who are not important in the workforce. The Vice President, Sierra Leone Employers Federation, TAMBA, ALIEU, KOKUBAYE, said the Global Commission of the Future of Work is one of the key features of the centenary celebration. He said in 2019, key recommendations for the implementation of the report was included.
1. Increase investment in people's capabilities. Increase investment in the institutions of work, and increased investment in decent work and sustainable work.
The Minister of Labour and Social Security, ADEKUNLE, said there are numerous opportunities to improve the quality of workers' lives, bordering choice, narrow the gender gap, and reverse the damage caused by the global inequality. He said the demographic changes, growing youth populations and aging populations in various parts of the world put pressures on labor markets and social security systems.
Mr. Chairman, in order to forge this new path, governments, employers, workers' organizations are required to be committed in their actions. We see power, salon better. Well, the only way salon better power is when we reflect that commitment in our social actions. So all of us, we need to be committed.
He said authors of the Global Commission report have proposed a human-centered agenda for the future of work. Auna Patrick Kamara, News Hour.
The Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority has launched the International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO Safety Fund project for Sierra Leone at the Freetown International Airport. The project will be implemented by the United Kingdom Civil Aviation International. Daphne Kimamafoli reports.
Sierra Leone has been ranked 43 out of 46 with respect to overall effective implementation of the Regional Aviation Safety Group. The country was audited by the International Civil Aviation Organization in 2006 under the Universal Safety Oversight Audit Program. The outcome of this report indicated that Sierra Leone has deficiencies in all the 8 critical elements of the state safety oversight system. The deficiencies include European Union Blacklist, 0 International Organization Safety Authority certified audits, and 1 international airport. The ICAO Safety Fund project for Sierra Leone will assist the Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority resolve aviation safety deficiencies and strengthen safety oversight capacities in a sustainable manner and bring other benefits to the whole aviation system. The Minister of Transport and Aviation, KABINEH KALLON, said governments will support the ICAO Safety Fund project and put in place policies to meet international standards.
It is therefore an obligation on us as a nation under the Chicago Convention that we remain focused on addressing our safety priorities as we continue to expand our air transport industry. In addition, it is well noted that our air transport is projected to double in the next 50 years. Consequent upon that, current emerging safety risks must be addressed proactively to ensure that this significant capacity expansion is carefully managed and supported through strategic, regulatory, and infrastructural development.
Regional Director ICAO Mamsiat JALLOH said ICAO will monitor and report on the compliance and conduct of the project. He commended Sierra Leone for its commitment to the civil aviation. He said out of 130 international airports in Africa, not more than 30% are certified. Director General Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority Moses BAIO made a PowerPoint presentation on the safety oversight system of Sierra Leone. He said the ICAO Safety Fund project will target certification of the Freetown International Airport and also meet Abuja safety targets of effective implementation to 60% by 2020.
Our effective implementation at that time was measured at 15%. Serious safety concerns were raised by ICAO, and of course, normally when audits are conducted, recommendations will definitely be made. And one key recommendation that came out of that was, one, Sierra Leone is supposed to, we are asked to cancel all our aircraft registration processes and withdraw all our AOCs that we have issued, and then we are also forced to deregister our aircraft.
The efforts by governments and partners to implement the ICAO Safety Fund project is to make sure that the Freetown International Airport meets international standards. For SLBC News, Daphne Kimamakoli reporting.
The Sierra Leone People's Party North America branch has inaugurated their new executive at a ceremony held at Houston, Texas. The North America branch has over 500 members. Mr. Mohamed is the new chairman of the North America branch. The ceremony was witnessed by Sierra Leone's ambassador to the United States, permanent representative to the United Nations, and key government officials. Salmataba has the details.
Sierra Leone People's Party North American branch is one of the strongest support groups for President BAIO to win the presidency during the last elections. The new executive was inaugurated by the National Secretary General of the SLPP, UMARU Napoleon KOROMA, and the leader of government, business and parliament, the Honorable SIDI TUNIS.
State your name.
Do hereby swear that I will faithfully execute the office of, to the best of my ability, and that I will faithfully uphold and protect the Constitution of the Israeli People's Party.
The new executive run the affairs for 2 years, and the focus of them is to get more members and support President BAIO achieve his new direction manifesto through diaspora support. Inaugurating the new executive, the leader of government business, Honorable SIDI TUNIS, congratulated the new executive and thanked them for their effort in making the SLPP win the March 7th elections. He told the gathering of strides made by President BAIO just 1 year in office, though he met a crippled economy. He highlighted some of the achievements, amongst which are the commissions of inquiry, increase in domestic revenue, fighting corruption, discipline leadership, and emergency declaration against rape.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution of the Sierra Leone People's Party as a leader of members of Parliament, I now pronounce you, Mr. Mohamed Regional Chairman, North America, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto. Congratulations.
Leone's ambassador to the United States, BOCKARIE, registered his commitment to work with the new executive to achieve the dreams of President BAIO, and he appealed to them to work hard to transform the party in the U.S. The Sierra Leone People's Party, the National Secretary General, UMARU Napoleon KOROMA, updated them on party activities back home, emphasizing the need for collaboration between the North American branch and other branches within the SLPP. The new chairman, Mohamed started his activities in the SLPP in 2012 as Young Generation leader. He also served as chair for the ad hoc committee for fundraising North America, Secretary General and board member. Mr. thanks the SLPP North American branch for electing him into that office and assured them of his untiring effort to transform the union to be more vibrant in ensuring that President BAIO achieve his dreams in developing Sierra Leone. SLBC News, Salmataba reporting.
Direct Aid Sierra Leone office has provided food items to Muslims in observance of the holy month of Ramadan. The food items, worth 100,000 euros, will be given to over 3,000 families in Makeni, Lungi, Kenema, and Freetown. The items include rice, cooking oil, and sugar. Francis Barnett has more.
Zakat is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and serves principally as the welfare contribution to poor and deprived individuals, and payment of zakat is obligatory for every sane and matured Muslim. This act, according to Islam, does not only purify the property of the contributor, but also purifies his heart from selfishness and greed. It also purifies the heart of the recipient from envy and jealousy. and from hatred and uneasiness. It is against this background that Direct Aid Office in Sierra Leone has been providing food items to some Muslims in observance of the holy month of Ramadan. According to Country Director of Direct Aid Sierra Leone, Negra Najib, his organization received the money from their head office in Kuwait.
Thank you very much for your coming and accepting our invitation. Let me express my congratulations for all the Muslims in Sierra Leone and the world in the occasion of Ramadan. Concerning your question, the total amount is 100,000 euros. 3,600 families have benefited from this program. 1,800 in FREETOWN and Boston, 1,000 in Kenya, 500 Makini, 500 in Lungi. Of course, our headquarters are in Kuwait, from the dollar from Kuwait.
About 3,800 families will benefit from this gesture across the country, with Freetown receiving the highest. African Muslim Agency is now Direct Aid.
I am very happy because it is really difficult for me and my family. I am very grateful to Direct Aid for the donation.
For SLBC News, Francis Bernard in Freetown.
And as the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education announces 11th May as NPSC Day, primary schools across the country braces up for the exams. In Makeni, Hassan Fore Kamara visited a number of schools to look at the strength of preparation and now reports.
As the clock ticks towards May 11, for primary schools it means giving the last punch to pupils who would face the NPSC on Saturday. To teachers, it's about to keep refreshing the brains of pupils to keep them on track in order to get the desired result.
Who can remember where we stopped yesterday? At what number? All right.
This school, St. Francis Primary School, is in the heart of Makeni and has existed for almost 45 years. In this class, visibly teachers showed their commitment and pupils demonstrated their knowledge.
1 times 1. 1 equals to 24 divided by 1. 24.
Abdul Conte is one of the teachers preparing them for the exams. He told me how far they have gone in the preparation.
Well, the preparations have been ongoing, and then we are still on it because since school closed, we have not let the children to stay at home. We allow them to come. We take them lessons. For the past 2 weeks when school closed, we were here throughout the 2 weeks. So we are preparing them because we know if they do well, we the teachers will have the praise.
Do you have confidence in them?
Definitely.
Michael Simbo Kamara and Fatu Kamara are candidates. They expressed gratitude to the teachers for what they described as overwhelming effort in building them up for the exams. Michael gave this advice.
I want to give the people advice. Let them not relax because this examination is a very hard examination. I want to give advice to the people for let them study hard for facing the examination.
And she interacted with me. So what is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is English.
English language. Are you scared of any subject, as you face the exams on Saturday?
Yes.
Which one? Math. The head teacher of the school, Abdul Francis Conte, expressed concern in this appreciation.
I appreciate so much on certain parents who send their children during the holiday. Despite all the constraints, the children always come to school, and we help them as teachers. Even though I am the head, I'm always here throughout the holidays to help these children. And we still have some children who are not coming from day 1 up to now in class 6. And it's a serious concern for us as a head of the school, because if children are not coming to school at the end of time, is a serious problem. Okay. Because there are certain areas we have to revise. We have to revise past questions papers. If they are not here, and there are certain things we need to tell them before ever they go to the exam. For those parents whose children are not here, we are advising them to send their children here.
At the Ministry of Education office at Mena Hills in Makeni, the Director of Education, Bombali Agnes Kamara, disclosed that the exam will take place in 10 centers with 2 supervisors in each. She said only after the examinations, they would be able to tell the overall number of candidates who took the exam.
We are at the big. People in Makeni and Bombani as a whole.
Please, I beg you all, just as you demonstrated in last year's examination, it's not a picnic. Don't go close to the exam hall. I know you're curious. If you have anything for your child, stay outside the gate. There has to be a quiet atmosphere. It is their first external examination.
The atmosphere, therefore, be quiet for the beginning. No member say this is the first exam for the beginning.
Parents around the city called on education stakeholders to handle the exam with care and advise that supervisors be professionals and do not do anything that will scare or intimidate their children during the exams.
The newly elected president for the National Mandingo Union, Alhaji Kanja Sise, has said that his union will enhance effective bylaws on early child marriage and also promote President BAIO's free quality education. He made the statement when he was officially introduced to the Ministry of Local Government by members from the National Mandingo Union at UE Building, Brookfields. Yvette Jasko reports.
As our chief, he is a custodian of Mandingos in Sierra Leone and our tradition, of which I know you are part of it. Thank you.
Chairman, Interim Executive, National Mandingo Union, Abdul Karim Sese, said their union strongly believed in good leadership, the reason why they decided to elect Alhaji Kanja Sese as president for the National Mandingo Union. Officially introducing the president of the National Mandingo Union, Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Fofana described Alhaji Kanja Sese as a man who believed in good governance principles, accountability, and he was elected by Mandingo chiefs due to his credibility, love, and respect for all walks of life. The newly elected president for the National Mandingo Union, Alhaji Kanja Sese, said the process was remarkable and that they are very determined to have an effective leadership that will promote development. The union, he went on, is not to promote tribalism, but to strengthen their culture and tradition for a structural leadership system nationwide. He assured the Ministry of Local Government of their cooperation and called on the Mandingos to join the union and promised to provide good leadership on the human capital development in the country.
Realizing the fact that one of the problems that we're facing with that is early child marriage. And as a tribe, we want to support His Excellency's program by really passing bylaws which will make it criminal for people to send their children into early marriage. Well, I could say yes. I can say definitely there are some people in the tribe who are guilty of this. And it's an issue, it's a matter of concern, especially in the rural areas. Sometimes because of ignorance, and therefore want to create a lot of sensitization around it to make sure everybody realizes that
The Minister of Local Government, Anthony Bwira, congratulated the newly elected president for the National Mandingo Union, Alhaji Kanja Sese, noting that his ministry is ready to work with the union. He said he is very much pleased with the bylaws on early marriage and hope that other tribes will emulate their policy. Yvette Goldsmith, Freetown.
The Regional Director, International Civil Aviation Organization for Western and Central African Offices, Mamsa JALLOH, has updated President Julius Maada Bio on different projects that his organization will be launching. The projects, according to the Regional Director, are going to be done in 2 phases. The first phase is capacity building, which will last for 4 months, and the implementation stage, which will last for more than 4 months. Hawa Masure has more.
Practice concerning air navigation, its infrastructure, flight inspection, prevention of unlawful interference, and facilitation of border crossing procedures for international civil aviation. ICAO defines the protocols for air accident investigation that are followed by transport safety authorities and countries signatory to the Chicago Convention on International Civil Aviation. That's why the government of Sierra Leone, through the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, is working hard to provide safety and security at the LUNGI International Airport. The first phase of the project, according to the Regional Director of ICAO, JALLOH, is 4 months, which is building the capacity of workers in charge of safety and security. This, the Regional Director told President JULDEH that the immediate objective is to organize the civil aviation in Sierra Leone as much has not happened in the area of safety and security.
Our regional office tries to assist the states and promote aviation as a priority, because as you know, aviation is key to economic development. Today, if we look at the UN Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals, 15 out of these 17 are impacted by aviation, for poverty, employment, etc. So helping or supporting aviation is a catalyst to development. We try to encourage things. We have seen a lot being done of late in Sierra Leone, and I want to express appreciation on behalf of the President of the ICAO Council and Secretary General, who are closely following what's the developments here. We've seen new impetus, engagement, and vigor and support for the sector.
President BAIO commended the Regional Director of ICAO for coming to the country and engaging the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, as he is fully aware that the country has lagged behind, adding that security and safety is very important in terms of aviation. President BAIO stated that Sierra Leone has to catch up with the world, and he is happy that Mr. JALLOH is here to work on all the issues in aviation.
It's a big burden, but we have to. We want to be part of the world. We don't want to be at the receiving end of the globalization, and which means we have to do quite a lot of things. But I'm very happy that you're here, and huge progress has been made, but we can do more, and we are very open to that. We are ready for that because we want to be part of the Committee of Nations in the international system. But it's very paramount, especially when you take into consideration the emerging security issues, emerging and evolving. So we have to be au fait. Our people have to be trained continuously.
The Minister of Transport and Aviation, KABINEH KALLON, told President BAIO that the purpose of their visit is to present the regional director to him and also update him about the first phase of the project, which will be launched on Thursday. The project, according to the minister, is all about setting standards. SLPP TV News are in Freetown. Musiri reporting.
You're watching Croatian, and now for news around Africa. A senior member of Burundi's Electoral Commission has called for the independent media to be barred from covering next year's presidential poll. Jean-Anastase Heku Burundi said the independent media had tried to bring the country to its knees and had a mission to create chaos. He said it was responsible for the violence that engulfed Burundi after the presidential election in 2015, when President Pierre Nkurunziza decided to run for a third term in office. Ghana's broadcasting regulator has announced that radio stations operating without valid authorizations are being shut down with immediate effect. The National Communications Authority says the decision follows a national audit in 2017, after which it says it fined several stations. Some of the stations appealed the decision in court. Radio Gold and XYZ Radio are among the radio stations already taken off air today. Both are owned by people with links to the opposition, National Democratic Congress, according to Joy FM. And Sudanese protest leaders have called for a nationwide campaign of civil disobedience to pressure the military to transfer power to civilian government. However, the military has suggested it may call elections within 6 months if talks with opposition activists fail to reach an agreement on the structure of an interim government. Well, Africa, and now for sports. The National Olympic Committee of Sierra Leone has ended a one-day meeting with presidents and secretary-generals of sporting associations. The general meeting saw all 18 sporting disciplines in attendance to chart the way forward for the development of sports in the country. The event was held at the Olympi Africa Center, Freetown. Jonathan Turner filed in this report, read by Salma Tabar.
He has been working closely with sporting associations in the country, and those sporting associations are expected to be updating the NOC on their various sporting disciplines. President of NOC, Dr. Patrick Coker, called on both the president and secretaries of associations to be effective in carrying out their functions. According to him, the associations are expected to be proactive, effective, and efficient in their job, noting that those that are supposed to go to Congress should do so immediately to avoid conflicts. However, the president welcomed new sporting disciplines to the association and urged them to bring programs and activities that can make the associations better. Chef de Mission, UNICEF in Kagbo, updated the membership about international competitions, lined up of which Sierra Leone will be competing, including the All-African Games in Morocco. According to him, 17 disciplines will be taking part in the All-African Games, and therefore called associations executives to send their entries on time. Statements were made by presidents of various associations about their various activities.
And now for entertainment, let's go over to Mohamed Bangura, better known as King Milan, for his story.
The entertainment industry in the country is gradually developing, thanks to a few local bloggers in the country that are helping in terms of promoting our movies and songs online. Many foreign-based promotional online bloggers have come and gone because of lack of support and finance to help them push their sites going on. A new entertainment website has been launched at the Hotel 510 in the east end of the city. The name of the website is www.salonsong.com, and its founder and CEO is Joshua Morba, aka Salon Bobo, alongside his co-CEO Yema Conte, who is based in America. In the opening address at the press conference at Hotel 510, the master of ceremony Vicky Dave welcomed all those present and said he believed that the brighter future for the entertainment industry was near. General Bash of Star Television said that he wholeheartedly supported the idea of a website in promoting our Sierra Leone songs to the outside world. He said the founder of the site should expect difficulties, mostly with the very artists they are planning to promote, but they will be a soluble issue. He said that government should give a helping hand, as it is the right of government to support, not the other way around, as it is in the country's constitution to support talents in the country. The station manager and acting president of the Sierra Leone DJs Union, DJ KALLON, said he welcomed the idea of the site and said it was something that had been long awaited by entertainers in the country. He said with this platform, our entertainment industry will change for the better. SLBC's entertainment producer Mohamed King Milan Bangura expressed thanks and appreciation to the founder of the website and assured them of his total support in helping it reach its pinnacle. He said his worries are that the artists should cooperate with the website and keep advantage of it. On the side of the founders of the website, he said he had seen similar websites had been set up in the country but could not last long. He pleaded that salonsong.com should come to stay permanently. He called on governments to force the mobile companies to lower their tariffs in order for the public to be able to access the site frequently. The founder and CEO of the salonsongs.com, Joshua Morba, aka Salon Bobo, said he appreciated all the speakers and journalists present at the press conference. He said salonsong.com is a promotional website that one can download, get live streaming, and read entertainment news. On the topic of how long the site will last, he said the website is here to stay and assured the press that by the end of the year, the site will be coming up with a television channel where all Sierra Leone music and movies will be played for viewers and downloads. He He said the main aim of the project is to see Sierra Leone music reach out to every Sierra Leonean in and out of the country. The Deputy Chief Executive Officer Yema Conte of the SalonSong.com said that she loved Sierra Leone music and culture so much that's why she decided to use all her efforts to be part of the establishment of such a website, as it will surely help to sell out the country's culture and heritage. The website was officially launched by the president of the Eastern Artists Union, Emmanuel Rogers, aka Article 4U, who before exercising his role thanked the founders of the site and all those that witnessed the press conference for making it possible to be part of an entertainment history. The general public is asked to support and click to the website in support of our local stars' music and audio songs by watching, liking and downloading on www.salonsongs.com. The show was climaxed with a performance of an artist from JMG Records.
And from the entertainment desk, we take our final story for tonight. The Sierra Leone Correctional Services, with support from the United Nations Development Programme, the International and Law Enforcement, has commissioned 2 newly constructed buildings to accommodate more inmates at the Mafanta Correctional Center. Our reporter in Mabroka, Abdul Karim Kano, has more.
The Mafanta Correctional Center is one of the biggest of the many correctional centers in the country. The center is located 3 kilometers outside Mabroka and houses a good number of prisoners, most of whom are hardcore. The recent commissioning of these 2 new additional structures to accommodate more inmates from other parts of the country and as well decongest other cells within the Mafanta Correctional Center is seen by many stakeholders as a step towards ongoing transformation from prisons to correctional center. Speaking at the opening of the 2 newly constructed buildings at the Mafanta Correctional Center, Deputy Director General of the Sierra Leone Correctional Services, Dennis Herman, commended UNDP and the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement for supporting the project. He said the Mafanta Correctional Center will soon be equipped with modern training tools to provide basic skills training for inmates while serving their sentences. UNDP Country Representative Samuel Doe noted that their support to the Sierra Leone Correctional Services is to ensure that inmates are not only detained for a longer period but should also be transformed so that by the time they are done with their prison term, society will accommodate them again and will be able to contribute to the development of their localities using the knowledge gained. District Security Coordinator, Office of National Security, ONS Tonkolili District, Alfred Kamara, described the commissioning of the 2 new structures as a laudable venture towards addressing the problem of cell congestion in some cells in Mafanta Correctional Center, but appealed for the extension of power supply from Mabroka to the Mafanta Correctional Center so as to make the environment lively for the inmates and the officers. The visiting officials were later taken on a conducted tour on the farm sites of the Mafanta Correctional Center around the prison areas.
And with that item, news hour comes to a close. But before we go, quick look at the top stories. Vice President has launched the 3 mineral sector policies. A seminar for newspaper editors and station managers in the Western area has ended at SLARG headquarters. And Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has refuted allegation that the WASC English language paper was leaked before the exams. Well, that's all in this edition of News R. Thanks for your time. I am Alice Thompson. Good night.